Morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Couple of things. First and foremost, putting the hat back on because my hair is out of control and I need to either shave it again or go get a haircut. So we'll see. We're still quarantined here. I think hair salons opened or hair, wherever guys get their haircut. Barbershops are open. I'm not sure. I need to check. But anyways, remember, we're shooting for 100 thumbs up for these daily financial news videos. And thus far, 2 days in a row, we have hit that number. If we hit 100 thumbs up on these daily financial news, remember, I will do another live stream at 8 a.m. Pacific this Saturday. So I would tell you it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to have faith in you that we will once again hit 100 thumbs up for these videos. And thus, I want to start asking for questions. I thought last week's live stream went well because I had 10 or 12 questions ahead of time. So do me a favor, leave questions below any of the daily financial news this week. I will review them all Friday sometime and be ready for you Saturday. Again, 100 thumbs up, daily financial news videos we did Sunday. You guys came through. It was sitting at 99. We got over 100. Yesterday we hit 100. So if we hit it again the next 4 or 5 days, we will do the daily show. And again, I have faith in you. So start giving me questions. I want to be prepared for you and not just waste 10 minutes while we get questions online. All right. So I warned you this was coming. We are going to see lots of economic news that lead off with the best ever, the biggest jump ever. Remember, statistics and, damn statistics and lies. So retail sales, great number today, already been sent out and about by all the tweets. 17.7% best ever. Frankly, it wouldn't shock me if next month's even better, or which is actually this month, next month's reporting, because the big states are just starting to open. California, for example, the malls, theaters, and museums are opening this week. So it wouldn't shock me if we have another great report. Clothing was reported up 188% month on month. But folks, let's just remember the math. You can go back out and look at April clothing, and it was down 80%, 79.8%. So let's just do rough math. Let's say the baseline was 100 coming out of March. It goes down 80%. It sits at 20. Even if it goes up 200%, 20 turns into 60. That's the math. That's statistics. That's what happens when you do month on month and you have a huge, huge drop. But people just want to read the headlines. 17.7%. Clothing up 188%. Bookstores up 88%. The good thing is the forecast for me was 8% growth, but it came in double that for 17.7. So don't get me wrong. It is frankly, it's a great number. It's a great number. But let's not forget what it means. And the best example is clothing. Down 80% to up 188. You're not back to even. It's just how the math works. Something that happened yesterday is the Fed announced it is going to start buying individual corporate debt. They've talked about it for a while. It's now going to happen. And this does not sit well with me. This along with the Fed buying stocks in the open market doesn't sit well with me. We are, I don't know how to say this nicely. We're now letting the Fed is now going to actively pick winners and losers. There will be big money spent trying to figure out who the Fed is going to help and who they're not. The rich are going to get richer. Zombie companies are going to be able to refi debt at ridiculously low rates because the Fed is there. And they're going to be allowed to move forward. I really don't like when the Fed jumps in the front of the capitalism. Capitalism, unfortunately, has a destruction in a rebirth phase. And it feels like we're just bailing out the rich again. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the stimulus and whatnot that was done over the last 2 or 3 months was good. I think a lot of that was, let's try to save the American economy because we are consumers and we were told to stay home. So I'm not against stimulus. I'm not against what most of the Fed is doing. This is a bridge too far. This I bet this doesn't sit well with me. And again, this is going to have so many negative consequences. There will be, again, huge money spent on Wall Street trying to figure out who the Fed is going to help and not, and that, again, that doesn't sit well with me. The market is obviously up this morning. We're going to see if it follows the same trend. I looked at United, Delta, and American Airlines before I started this. They were all up 6.5%. The cruise lines were up 7%. So what I'm guessing, and we'll see if it's right for the third day in a row, I'm just calling them Robinhood, even though there's lots of other platforms out there. The retail investors wanted to buy these. Robinhood platform sold that information to high frequency traders in New York. New York folks, hedge funds front run those stocks, bought them early. That is thus causing all these green screens to pop off in retail investors. Retail investors, now that the market is open, will be buying. And my guess is by 1 o'clock, the New York investors are selling. We'll see, right? That's, I've been right twice or 3 times. And I don't know, it just feels odd. It feels wrong. But again, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. 1 o'clock's only a few hours away. We'll see. Again, California malls are opening. Again, California is one of the last ones to open up. I think New Jersey still has some struggle, and New York, obviously. But that's interesting. Theaters, man, not interested in going to a theater. Don't know about you. Hertz, it still bothers me that Hertz is selling 500 million in worthless stock to, I'm going to call it retail investors. This is what it said in their perspective. We expect that common stockholders will not receive any recovery. Basically, this stuff is worthless, but if you want to give us your money, we'll take it. And obviously the creditors want it because that just allows them to, recover more of their debt. So we'll see. I don't know if you saw this, but some of the up news today, there is a drug. Actually, it's an old drug. It's a steroid, and I'm going to mispronounce this horribly. It's dexamethasone. I don't know. It's a steroid. It's cheap. The headlines I have read say drug will save lives. First drug proved to save lives. All of that stuff. But when you click on the articles and you read the details, while it does, so good news, it only helps the folks that are on ventilators or receiving oxygen. So the worst of the worst, I don't know how to say that off the top of my head, the people that are most sick, it will absolutely help them. But the folks that aren't there, no impact. So, it seems with this report, we have something that is going to help I don't know what percentage get there, but the worst of the worst, the folks that need it. So, again, let's, hey, if it helps save hundreds of lives, and again, it's a cheap drug. It's been around forever. It costs like $50 for eight to help 8 people. So, hey, if it works, it works. Awesome. The same report said that hydroxychloroquine, again, probably mispronounced that, is useless. That was something we talked about 8 to 10 weeks ago. So I bring that up just because what works once works later. We shall see. Again, more market data. Again, stuff that I think should move the market but doesn't seem to these days. McDonald's, right? McDonald's, we've all heard of it, big fast food chain. Same-store sales fell 5% in May. It's a pretty big drop. Fed Powell is speaking right now. I just caught his opening remarks, so he'll probably be speaking for the next hour or so. He does occasionally move the market. So if something happens, I will let you know. I expect him to just be, hey, we don't know what's going on. We're going to keep rates low. It'd be interesting to see if he talks about retail sales today because that was released before he started talking. So it'll be interesting. Another thing, the real estate market, I'm hearing more and more folks who are doing what I talk about, learning their market, are seeing what I'm seeing. Just record low inventories, crazy demand, right? This is a market that's very, very hard to buy cash flow properties. So don't overpay. Know your numbers and let others overpay. If these dominoes are set up, these prices could get absurd again, like they did in '06. And if you read our book, you remember we sold in '06. So this is this is interesting times, and it all boils down to listings. We need more listings. When do the listings come? So that's what we're going to be following. Quicken Loans looks like it could be the biggest IPO of the year is coming up, which I think is interesting. We actually did a few loans via Quicken. Oh God, maybe 12 months ago. Easy process, almost like '06 all over again. It was a pretty easy process. But again, record high homes, applying for mortgages, refis, all of that. I do want to make a slight tweak to my real estate statement earlier. That is everything under jumbo loan limits. The high end, big homes, those are taking longer. And that's actually where the inventory is expanding. Days on market, less buyers. The jumbo market does appear frozen, or at least maybe not frozen, but thawing. So we will see what happens there. And then lastly, again, like I said, right when I opened up, get used to the biggest ever. Home builders. And should be expected, right? We talked about new home construction having a surprise 1% growth when it was expected negative 22. They are happy. They went from a 30 number, anything below 50 is contraction, to 58 in 1 month. So they are excited. Traffic is up, interest is up, offers are up, and again, biggest month ever. So again, it's interesting. So if home prices skyrocket, will I let mine go? Yeah, I'll sell some for sure. If they get to absurd levels like they did in '06, I will sell. Yeah, of course. That's what I do by learning my market. The question is, where do I put my capital? Because last time it was easy. I moved to multifamily. So we shall see. So that's what I got for you today. Again, remember, we're shooting for 100 thumbs up. I have faith in you that we will get there. We did Sunday, we did Monday. And because of that, I want you to start putting questions below. Any of these daily financial videos that go out, I will be prepared for you Saturday morning. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.